like the weather in Nairobi, the sun did not come to play. Like it's really, really hot. Right now, I've closed the windows because I'm shooting this video. I don't want the noise from outside to come inside, so I'm kind of feeling hot. Like it's really, really hot. So good people, I remember when I was growing up, I always wanted to get to a certain age where I get to pay my own bills, like find my place, be able to make my own decisions, and when I'm going to visit someone, or maybe when I'm going to do something outside, then decide to stay late, when I come back home, no one will be asking me, where were you, what were you doing, you know, such kind of question. I didn't want to, you know, I just wanted to get done with those kind of questions where someone is just making decisions for me. So when I was 19 years old, I decided to leave home and be by myself, like renting a place and doing all those things that I wanted to do. But now I'm here asking myself, is this it? Is this the adulting that I was expecting, or what happened along the way? What's up, good people? How are you doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for coming. If it's your second time or third time, or you're always a member of this channel, just know that I really do appreciate you. And for those who recently joined my channel, I don't know, I'm laughing, but for those who recently joined my channel, just know that I really do appreciate you, and thank you so much for the support. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching my videos, and if you're watching, by the way, and you haven't subscribed, you just joined today, please feel free to subscribe. Press on that button, you know, any button that you're seeing there written Christine GER, just press on it and join this amazing family. I'm sure you won't regret a thing. So on today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the hard truths when it comes to adulting. Like, it's through my experience, definitely, like the things that I've seen. Oh my god, like wow, there's just so many things that I didn't know when I was trying to, you know, when I was 19 years old. Maybe when you're young, you're in high school, you're thinking, when I get my place, I'll be inviting my friends over the weekends, nini, you know, such kind of things. So I'm going to share with you some of the facts that you need to know, even when you're just watching this and you're not an adult yet. But these are things that expect, you know, like just expect them. And if you're having the same experience where you are, just know that you're not alone. Like me and you, we are sailing together, and I know many other people are going through the same thing. The first truth when it comes to adulting is that it's very lonely. Like, it's, you know, when you're young, you always have people around you. Like I remember when I was back in high school, I used to have many friends. I could not just sit by myself, you know, just being alone like that. Making friends in adulting feels like just doing a lot of work. Like, it's, I don't know, there's just something, because first of all, you don't have a lot of time. Second, now it's like you don't even trust people that easy. Like, if you compare when you're young and now at your age, it's very hard to just bring people in your space like that, because you don't know who's who. You know, when you're young, most of the time people are just themselves. Like, there's not so much that you've learned about life that will make you decide to be in a certain way or go behind someone's back, or, you know, like when you're young, you're just free and all that. But now in adulting, there's just so much that you try to be conscious about, and yeah, so it becomes very hard. The second point when it comes to adulting is that adulting itself is just hard. Like, manze ni kazi. Like, we have a lot of bills to pay, we have a lot of responsibilities, we have a lot of, you're supposed to be smart, you're supposed to be making decisions, you're supposed to be, there's just all these things that you're supposed to be doing by yourself. Oh my god, like sometimes I just feel tired. Like, I want to be taken care of, I want to be pampered, I want all these things. But again, who's going to pamper you? Like, you have to find time to pamper yourself, you have to find time to, you know, motivate yourself to do something. Imagine you have a family, like you're already married, you have a family, you have maybe 2 kids or 3 kids or 4 kids, depends on how many you guys are looking for, maybe, yeah, you know. So maybe you have your husband is there. For those who are lucky to have their husband, your husband is there, and that is a different situation. At least you have your husband there. And having your husband there does not mean that now things are going to be easy when you're an adult. Nope, because sometimes these husbands, they also, I'm talking as if I have experience, but well, from what I've heard, they're also like babies. Like, you have to take care of them. At the same time, you have 4 children crying over there, you need to take care of them. So like a mom, you have to be a mother, you have to be a wife. Then you also have school. Let's say you've gone back to school, so you have school assignments to work on, then you have school group works to work on, and you're dealing with different other people. That's adulting, by the way. And I'm not complaining, I'm just sharing what has been going on in my adulting life, that I'm like, oh god, like I wish I could just go back and remain to be a child. Like, I just want to be a child again. And maybe you also have another business. You know, all these things you're doing is because you're trying to make ends meet. Like, there's just a lot, and it's just tough. The third point in adulting is that none of us is an expert. You might have grown up in a family where your father and mother, they were like in a perfect relationship. I don't know what perfect is, but they were in a good relationship, let me say, good relationship, and your family was always doing things together. Then now you grow up, and then you start your own family, and sometimes you wish, or maybe you thinking what you saw growing up is what you're going to see, like the way perfect your family was. Then now you come meet someone else who's from a different background, who was raised differently. Maybe he even came from a dysfunctional family, and the way he's doing things is not the same way that you grew up doing things. So it's just like two different people trying to do things in a certain way. Like, everyone has their own way of doing things, and no one of us is perfect. It's not like going to an hospital when you're sick. Then when you have, let's say, dental issues, you go and see a dentist. When you have whatever, those female stuff, you're going to see a gynecologist. It's not like that. Adulting is just, I don't know if I can say pata potea, I don't know if that's the word, but it's just trial and error. Yes, like it's just that. And if you came from a dysfunctional family, it even becomes harder. You have to deal with things that you went through when you're a kid. So now when you're an adult, you're trying to go for therapy sessions, you're trying to get your mind in, like your mental space to be at peace. Like, there's just so much when it comes to that. You realize things that maybe when you're a kid, you're going through them, but you didn't know it was as bad as it is now when you're an adult, when now those trauma that you experienced when you're a kid is now affecting you now. So that is adulting. Like, it's just, I hope you're understanding me, and we are together, and maybe these things you also experience, and I'm not the only one who's experiencing these things. So the fourth point here is, when it comes to adulting, you're constantly making decisions. It comes with it. Like, umekuwa mkubwa, sawa, you'll decide which area you're going to stay, you'll decide where you're going to work. Okay, sometimes there are people who don't decide, but I think the moment you agree to take a job, you're actually deciding, like the moment you agree. So where you'll be working, you're deciding which kind of lifestyle you want to live, because at the end of the day, it's how much effort you put when it comes to doing your stuff. That means how you're going to generate your money. So which lifestyle, where do I want to stay? Like, do I want to live from, like these are things that you can decide on when you're an adult, and they're just decisions left, right, and center. Like, now today I decided I'm going to shoot this video. I mean, like, it's a decision that I made. I decided we don't have power by there at the moment. They're working on something, I don't know where, but yeah, so I'm just here like, what can I do during this time? So I'm like, let me pick up my camera and be productive, shoot something and share with you guys. And that's adulting, making decisions left, right, and center. Sometimes we make decisions that we come to regret about later, and I'll talk about it another point. But yeah, it's just about making decisions every single day. From the moment you wake up, whatever you're eating, if you decide to eat junk food, you're taking, to your system. When you're a kid, these are things that did not even worry you at all. Me eating chips Monday to Friday wasn't a problem. When I just started my college life, by the way, I could eat chips Monday to Friday. But now, because I've learned that there are things that are not good for my system, I try to cut on some things, like try to find balance. If I'm eating chips Monday to Friday, it is not good for my system. I want my skin to glow. Like, decisions, left, right, and center. It's just about decisions. Hey, yani, inachosha. The fifth point here, and this fifth point is something that happens a lot, by the way, when you become an adult. Like, you might not want to be in contact with your family members. Some of them, not all, but some of them. And the reason I'm saying this is because as you grow up, you realize that there are some people who are not good for you. They're not good for your growth. They're not good for your space, for your mental. They're not good for you. They're very toxic for you. And sometimes it gets very bad when you find that people are complaining about their mothers, they're complaining about their fathers, they're complaining about their parents, basically, even siblings. Like, you find that they have to cut them off, because even when you go to a therapy session, you'll be told, this particular person, you don't need them in your life. And it's someone you grew up with, someone that you are so close to. And even another thing is, we have cousins. They're cousins that you are best friends with growing up, but right now you find that as an adult, you don't even talk to them as much. Like, you rarely even call. You only meet during funerals, like, it comes with adulting. There are these things that just happen, and it's not like it's you're the bad person. It's just adulting. You just need your space, you need your peace of mind, you need what's good for your spirit. Like, that's all you need, and it's okay. It's something that we go through when you become older, or rather when you're growing up in adulting. So yeah, so that's another thing. The 6th point is adulting involves layers of loss. Like, you get to, I don't know, I'm smiling and it's a sad point. Forgive me. But yeah, in adulting, you get to lose so many people along the way. Like, for example, I lost my grandma. I used to love my grandma so much. And being this adult, these are just things you have to deal with. I lost my dad. Oh my god, like that day is like this February. My dad passed away on 25th of February. So I usually feel like, I don't know, but somehow every Feb, they always just like a mood around me. I lost one of my closest friend who died. I think I even did a story over here. And there's a pain that you get to live with every single day, and you get to learn that with pain, like with time heals, that is true, but of course it doesn't make you forget about them. But sometimes, even with my dad who passed away in 2011, I get to think about him and I'm like, what would happen if my father was still around? What would happen if my grandma was still around? Right now, when you go to our shags, it's never the same. Like, when my grandma was there, things were different in that home, and they're just losses that you get to, you know, like, you learn how to live with the pain, like, as an adult. And there's also maybe when it comes to some friendship that you get to lose along the way, and these are people who are very important to you, but you find that because one thing or another, like in terms of maybe they decided to move from the country that you guys were living in, and then they moved to another one, and you are so close to them, so it means because of that distance, yes, you're not losing them to death, but they're moving to another place, so meaning you guys won't be able to see each other often, you know, like that communication can be there, but it's still not the same when you have someone. When I have Jackie staying over there, I'll be able to leave my house and go see Jackie. I'll be able to leave my house, go see Kathy. It's different. Like, things change when it comes to adulting. And yeah, I was just talking about layers of loss. Yeah, it comes with adulting, and I hope you feel me. And the 7th point is a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure in adulting, especially when you're in your late 20s, 30s. Oh my god, the pressure that comes with it is just on another level. Sometimes you're even trying not to give in to the pressure. You're trying just to focus, you know, you're just sticking to your lane, you're just thinking on your own stuff. Then boom, you open Instagram and then you see, this was your classmate, and now they're just popping champagne. Where are you? You have millions of problems left, right, and center. They're just hanging around, you know. Everyone has their own journey, yeah, but you just wonder, okay, so why God, why? Like, there's just so much pressure, like left, right, and center. Maybe a colleague of yours just bought a Range Rover, and you don't know how they made their money to buy that Range Rover. Then you're there just pressuring yourself, thinking, you know, that's adulting. It comes with so much pressure. You just need to find balance and know what is important to you, and just try to focus. Even when we're being distracted, just try and focus on yours, focus on your journey, focus on your lane, like stick to your lane. That's adulting. That's another thing that you get to experience when you're growing up and become an adult. There's a time you get to grieve even the parts. That's another point, by the way. There's a time you get to grieve the parts that you didn't check. For example, there are some jobs that there's a certain age, when it gets to a certain age, you can't be employed with them, you can't be taken in. Then now you're in your maybe late 30s and you're like, oh, I wish I did, you know, I wish I went for this position, I wish I did that. Like, there are those parts that you get to just grieve about them and just move on. The 9th point, you're almost finishing, good people. The 9th point is maintaining relationships becomes harder in adulting. Hey, my last job, it used to be so busy until by the time I get to hold my phone and go through the phone and call someone or even text, it was just work. Like, I had to prioritize, just put a reminder to text someone if they were important to me, like just put that reminder. And sometimes even put that reminder, and then you pick up your phone like this, you want to text them, then boom, someone calls you, you know. Like, maintaining relationships becomes so hard. You get to lose people along the way because maybe you got a job which involves a lot of traveling, so most of the time you're just away. When you come back to the country, guys have moved on, people are just, you know, people are married, some have children, people are just moving on, and maintaining relationships becomes very hard. So great people, our 10th point is that in adulting, time flies so fast. the 24 hours that you have in a day can look like there's just 2 hours in a day, because there's so many things that you want to accomplish, there's so many things that you're trying to do. And also in adulting, you get to appreciate your weekends. Oh my god, like, because time flies so fast, and maybe you have a family and the only time that you can spend with your family is maybe on a Sunday afternoon, and that Sunday afternoon also just flies so fast. Another thing about adulting is that eating out becomes very expensive. Like, you can't just keep eating out like all the time. You can't be ordering in food every now and then, because you're going to spend more money in that money that can go and do something else. So you learn how to cook if you don't know how to cook, and you spend a lot of time cooking inside your, whether you like your food or you don't like your food, you spend a lot of time cooking inside your house, like cooking indoors and eating from home, than going out to spend and get food from outside, you know. My other point is that in adulting, you tend to choose comfort. You go for comfort, like, more than just how you can't dress to impress anymore. Like, it's what makes you comfortable, like such clothes, you know, it's a very loose dress. So I'm always feeling very comfortable wearing such dresses, wearing shoes that I'm more comfortable in. If I'm wearing heels, then they have to be heels that I own, you know, like I'm not going to strain my back or strain my, you know, because of just looking nice. I'm going for comfort, and that's one thing that comes with adulting. The other point is that you get extremely happy when you come home to a clean house, when you sleep on clean sheets, like when you go to your kitchen and you find the sink is empty, there are no dirty utensils. There's just something about it, like it makes me super excited when I come to a fresh, like my house is so clean, the windows are clean, there's no smell of dust anywhere. Like, there's just something about it when it comes to adulting. These are things that never used to excite me when I was a kid, like walking into a clean house and a clean room and sleeping on clean bed sheets. Those are things that never used to excite me. Another point is you start hating unnecessary noise, like loud music. Sometimes you even feel irritated going to clubs that play very loud music. You start finding yourself going to restaurants that play very calm music, like, as in, just, you know, you like that peace of mind. You don't like those things of boom to off all the time. Like, you just want to have, you know, that peace of mind, and just sometimes even end up switching off everything in your house and just staying in a quiet place. Like, there's just something about that when you become an adult. My last point, good people, is that people expect you to know what you're doing. Like, they really expect you to, when you decide to do something, let's say you start a business, they expect you to know what you're doing, you know, whether it goes south or not. They're like, ni mtu mkubwa, I'm sure anajua chenye anafanya, you know, like, as in, sometimes you don't really know what you're doing, you're just there taking risk, but because you're an adult, people just expect you to know everything, and it's so annoying. Oh my god, like, sometimes you're just trying to risk and kubahatisha, like, it's, I think I said it, pata potea, it's either, you know, when it comes to businesses, when it comes to some decisions that you're making. And sometimes I just don't understand why people want us to think like that, like, to be like that. Adulting comes with its advantages and disadvantages, but if you ask me if I want to go back to be a kid, I don't think I want to go back to be a kid. Maybe only when it comes to the bill part, like paying bills, but really, like, there's just something beautiful about being an adult. So anyway, good people, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten here and you're still watching, by the way, and you like whatever I've said, or maybe you can relate to them, please don't forget to thumbs up. Like, just thumbs up. If you've gotten here and you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do so by pressing on this amazing lady popping right here. And until next time, good people, kisses to you.